All right, here we got a 2023, just about Christmas, so almost 2024 home garage update. Been doing a lot of transplanting here, just gonna fill this in and leave like a little pathway here if I want to work on stuff, or a little pathway that goes this way. So just a lot of transplants. That's new. So let's take a look at inside. Quite a few new things in here over the past couple years since I finished this construction. I added that mini split, which is 2-ton heat and AC, mostly used for AC. Also, I added this 10,000 pound bendpak lift. It doesn't look like it's that high, but normally that's the highest a car can go on a lift. You can see this one's still got another 4 feet. This is an extremely high lift, 2-post. And added a pressure washer, wall-mounted pressure washer. So I didn't slope this floor. I made this a flat floor, so I can't wash cars in here, but the driveway is sloped. So I could park a car right there. I could do all the pressure washing, all that stuff. I've got the spot-free deionized water rinse, and then I can pull it right into here and just do the final cleanup. You know, and the epoxy I did a long time. The epoxy's still nice because if I make a mess, I just mop it up. None of it absorbs and stains into concrete. Really, this is all my in-laws' parking area, but not a whole lot of changes over there, as you can see. But I've been creeping my bikes over that direction just to make room. So the real big change is this monster of a lift and the AC. So this lift is a bendpak, as you can see, 10apx-181. So the 10AP was more their common one. The X means it lifts extra high, so I could actually go quite a bit higher. I mean, you're looking like this lift is probably almost 7 feet. It's probably about 7 feet right now, but the lift can actually go higher. And the 181 is the crossbar height. So, you know, like if this is a high top van, it could still go quite a bit higher. So this was a really cool lift. They call for 4¼ inch slab, concrete. But they say really a lot of times they're looking for about 3.5. So if you got a 4-inch slab, you could do it. I dug down as in an early video, I approximated where I might set this lift. And just before we poured the concrete, I pulled some sand from underneath the rebar so that I had extra thick depth right here. So that's right where those 2 posts were going to be. I kind of planned out. I actually moved it back and centered it on the door slightly. Now the reason I did that was I've got the tallest lift available and the widest lift. So this has a drive-through width of like 8.5 feet. So I could actually, if you look where this lift post is, it's a little bit more narrow than the door, but I could actually pull a Class A motorhome in between these posts. It'd be very, very, very tight, but that's part of the reason I got this lift. If I put in a 14-foot door and then I put in a 10-foot tall lift, there was no purpose of a 14-foot door. So there's quite a bit of planning on my part there. And then additionally, this was something that I had planned. I had run the wire in the wall, and right here I did a little extra wire bundle and then continued it over here to an outlet. And so that way when I was ready for this, I cut a hole in the wall, I caught the wire, tapped onto the wire, and ran it up into this conduit. And so that's a 240 volt feed for the lift, you know, so clean. I'd love it to not even have to be external at all, but that's not realistic. So at least it's not external surface mounted all the way from the panel. It's mostly in the wall. And so the part's been really cool. I'm definitely happy with this 50 by 40. I don't need any more. There's always ways to say you need more. But the truth be told, with a car on the lift, I've got lots of room to walk around it. I've got lots of room in front of it to get to the tools. I've got plenty of room behind it. I could park another car in here. You could easily do 2 cars deep with plenty of room to work around them. If I really wanted, I could have not done the lift and possibly gone like too wide, but if you really want to do two, so on this half is a 20-foot wide. I don't think I would. I would probably plan on having a whole, maybe for parking, but if you want to be able to open doors and stuff, I just think it's a little narrow. But the 50 depth was definitely adequate, and so for what I'm doing, it's definitely great. The other reason I got the high top lift, if for some reason, you know, I've become a little bit more of a car collector in my later years, I can lift this thing high and easily. I could park another car in it right now, but I could lift this thing as high as it'll go, and I could pull my truck under this, no problem. And this lift is good for cars, but I'll just show you real quick. I had a little job to do on my Hummer right there, so I've already had that up on the lift today. Lifts it no problem. Lifts a low profile, very low Camaro, no problem. And then I like the width because it leaves me a lot of room here for bikes, and this thing's kind of like my farm work vehicle. And then as for over here, because this has got the full 16-foot door, you could really do 4 cars on this side, but then my bikes and all this stuff would have to be out of here, or I'd have to sneak them over. So, you know, I guess think about what you really want to do, and I would say at max put 4 cars here, put 2 cars in tandem, or use that side as an RV parking. And still happy with the garage and the decisions made. And it doesn't take a whole lot to heat and cool this because it's so highly insulated. So just that 2-ton keeps it pretty nice in here in the summer. And in the winter, it struggles a little bit more, but I'm always good with working at 60 degrees with a long sleeve. So if I can get it to 60, even in the coldest month, that's great. So that's about it. Hopefully this help you understand. These are 18-foot to the eave right there. So this is an extremely high ceiling. So just be aware. That's why I could fit the tallest of the tallest lifts in here. Probably could have done an attic right off there, just broke it off and went straight over and still had all the height I needed, but didn't really want to build an attic. Wanted to keep it wide open. Well, there you go.